There we go. Technology. You always just got to stay patient. Stay patient. Here we are. And we're waiting on our guests. Today we have Lola Jefferson with Remax Real Estate. She's a realtor. She's going to join us in a few. Let me send her a text. Going to try to get this going. Trying to be regular with us. One thing we want to do is we want to, communicate with our audience on a level of in person. Sometimes people always wonder, what does Dante do every day? And so we want to spend time with the audience and spend time with you answering questions, whether you have scenarios about buying, investing, or refinancing. We want to make sure we give you an opportunity to reach out to me, via these platforms that are here. Technology is amazing only if you use them. So we're going to try to use them a little bit more. So that is what we are trying to do, and that's what we're trying to accomplish for sure. One of the things that we're going to start doing more is a little bit more live, engaging the audience and just talking about certain options. So let me see if we have our guests, and we'll keep it moving. Came up with a little outline for today. One of the things that we wanted to do was we wanted to talk about, obviously what's going on in the marketplace. Also, too, wanted to talk about movies that have real estate or some type of sales in them. I read an article from LinkedIn, sales tips and tricks and strategies. They were making a comment. The Daily Sales newsletter was talking about 12 films you must watch if you work in sales. So I thought it was interesting to see. Let me see these 12 films, and I was a little surprised, but I thought I would have seen them all. But there's about four of them I haven't seen, so I was going to ask and see if anyone else has. Also, too, we're going to talk about just overall inventory. We're going to talk about just national finance, and we're going to get into it just as quickly as we can. Give me one more second. Let me see. I figured out. Let's see. Let's see. And we're here. All right, and then we're gonna get going. So yeah, just we're gonna try something new. So the next one of these is gonna be on Friday at 12 o'clock p.m. Central Time. We're gonna be on here. I have a guest, Vincent Bertuccini, a licensed loan officer. We're gonna have him on as well. We're gonna get into more of the weeds of just being a loan officer and just some perspectives on the market. So obviously, real estate market, the moment. Uh, what's going on in the marketplace? Let's see. Let's see. Hold on.
Are you waiting for me?
I was.
Oh, okay. So
OMG.
sorry.
No, you're fine.
Are we live live? Like we're
We
not
are we are live
like
live.
everyone can see this right now?
I think everyone can see this.
Oh,
Now,
that's
now, mind you, this is only
scary.
like the second time I've ever done it. So
Yeah,
I will say I don't know 100%, but we'll find out.
we
Uh,
will.
but it, but it does say live. I do have that green dot staring at me in my eyes, so I think it's real. And I think
Okay.
someone posted something. Can you
Oh,
see the post?
no. You're in the show. Everyone can see and also everyone can see and hear us. No, I can't see the post. Am I supposed to hit chat? Oh, I wasn't supposed to hit chat. Let me look.
Yeah, honestly, I've been
It's
more of
fine.
a Zoom guy myself, so this is kind of a
Ah,
new experience for me.
okay. Comment.
You see comments?
He is a miracle worker. Oh yeah, but that's I have to click off, so I don't want to. I didn't download that. I'm just on the website, so
It's
you
all
know.
good. It's all good. Well, I appreciate any comments anyone has. We'll make sure we answer questions later. But how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Hanging in there, hanging in there. I was saying, just talking to myself. I was saying, this is something that technology is fun if we use it, and so if we can start using this type of technology, we can really get out there and spread the word. And sometimes people have questions, and we want to make sure we answer those questions as quickly as we can. We're not
Of
gonna
course.
comment on that technology.
No, no.
It's a lot
I
of
also just
snafus.
jumped out and jumped back in by
That's
accident.
impressive. I don't
It
even know
is.
how to do that.
Oh, you just refresh by accident and then it'll pop you out, pop you back in.
Got it. I'm going to try to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just put it like the whole screen, so then that way
Okay.
I don't see all the stuff that's going on. But yeah, I was curious to try to have this convo with you. I wanted to spend the next 10 minutes, just talking about real estate markets and just what's popping in your neck of the woods as far as inventory, price trends, and buyer energy. What are you feeling right now?
Um, More inventory than it's been in recent years. Uh, um, the prices are, if you're under six, 700,000, then people are coming down on prices. If you're above seven, and then people are paying asking and above. If you are purchasing a rehab or newly remodeled, then typically people are getting asking price and they're leaving quickly. If it's a regular home, no updates, it just looks nice, takes a little bit longer, whereas everything used to sell, sell, sell.
Yeah.
So definitely not like that anymore. And sellers are paying closing costs as well as um, doing repairs. So they used to not do that either.
So you think that the sellers in general are maybe a little bit nervous because things are lasting a little bit longer on the marketplace, so they feel like they have to do a little bit more to maybe get their house sold quicker?
Um, Typically, when I meet sellers, they don't know that the market has changed. They think that it is still a post-COVID market, um, and it just isn't. So I usually have to inform them, and once I show them the comps and comparables and show them what is in the area and what's happening in the area, we typically go with the trend of the area.
I got you. We we might be depending on what's going on. I mean, obviously, we had that whole Iran situation happen late on Saturday.
Hmm.
So, we're kind of seeing, where is that going to bring us overall as a marketplace? But the market it opened up today better as far as interest rates are better.
Yeah. Um, we'll have to wait and see how that goes. I don't, not getting nervous vibes quite yet. People are still going about the hustle and the bustle of the economy, but nothing. Uh, I think if we go, if situations continue to escalate, that'll probably also change the market. So right now, I haven't seen anything, any change. I think it's too soon.
Yeah, I got a text message from a title agent this morning. It threw me off a little bit. Title agent texted me this morning. He said, "What did he say?" I'm just grabbing it real fast. I was like, "Really?" Um,
Should have had
he
it
said,
ready.
"Tiny little mini rate drop going on. How's business?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean it's tiny. It's tiny for sure."
Oh,
But
like an eighth tiny or what do you
I
mean?
mean, it was just interesting that he's, obviously he's noticing. I mean, obviously, like I said, the market opened up better today than last week, right? So it ended off in a certain way, and
Mm,
now the rates are better this week. So hopefully that's, and there's a lot of information coming out this week. Just price index, consumer price index should be coming out, or the PPI report. So I mean, there should be some more information coming out to try to decipher whether or not where interest rates are going. The Fed, did their report last week and said, they kept everything steady Eddie. And, obviously, federal chairman Jerome Powell said he's not going to, there's not enough information yet to lower interest rates. And that
oh
was,
no.
it was a little discouraging from our side of the fence. We want to see rates go, to see more movement with buyers because some buyers are still scared.
I do not want to see rates go. So I'm one of the only people
Few.
apparently that
One of the
do
few.
not want to see the rates go down. I need them to stay where they are or go higher. That's where I want rates at.
It's
So
you know, what's interesting, I would say to that is, we were in a place, 5 years ago where a lot of individuals were able to just buy on their own, and you know,
hmm
especially at different price points. Let's say if you make $60,000, or let's just say $70,000 or less, you were able to just say, "Hey, I'm going to buy me a place, and I'm going to do it all by myself." Now, with the prices that have gone up higher, we're starting to see those people having to get, partners. They're going to have to work together with their spouse per se, because to qualify for more, either A, have to make more money, or B, you're going to have to partner with someone to be able to qualify, and that's different.
that is different if we compare it to COVID
Correct.
market, post COVID, pre COVID, when home prices were 100 to $200,000 less than they are, and 300 and $400,000 less than they are. Um, People could buy at between 4 to 6%. So I would prefer prices to be down. Um, the prices of homes grew exponentially fast, crazy fast. And that was only because buyers, like you said, could afford 400,000 because the mortgage was what, 2,800? Or, it was some ridiculously crazy, great low number. But when you can afford that and everyone can afford that, now everyone wants to buy. And when everyone wants to buy, someone goes
We got
even
a little
higher.
technical difficulty, so
Super.
hang in us.
Is it me? Is it me? Is it me?
I
Let me
think it
see.
was. I mean, it was still in the night.
Second.
I'm here. If you can see me.
Yeah, maybe. Is it better? Can you hear me? Am I here? Oh no, it did. Okay, let me refresh.
See, I'm back up. Yeah, when Lola gets back, she'll probably re-engage. But yeah, no, like I said, we're going to start doing these lunch and learn, have a conversation, have a little fun, and keep it moving while you're at work. I'm at status quo. We're all coming from different walks of life. We're also dealing with different customers. So, different is important. Important to note that different perspective can, help you. So, no matter where you are out there, right now, we have Lola Jefferson. She's a licensed uh, Illinois real estate. And so that's why we want to talk about it. And life things like of Iran on Saturday can affect us. That's the reality. It can affect our interest rates, our way of life. So right I'm there with you. Are you there? It's really interesting. Lola, you still there? Interesting. So let's go here. All right. Well, I got back on. We're gonna try to hop her back on in a second, and we're gonna get it figured out. No worries. You got to be okay. You got to be willing to try different things. That's about real estate too. You got to try different things. You got to be willing to give it up and see what happens. I like that. I like that a lot, just to see what's going on. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look. But one of the things I wanted to talk about. Let's see. Let's see what happens. I just want to see. All right, let me do this. All right. Don't know what happened.
I'm afraid to talk. I don't want to talk. Goodbye.
You're good. We are figuring
All
it out, my
right.
dear.
So yeah, I was just saying that I think prices should come down. If the rates stay low, people can buy, but then we're going to keep going up and up and up and up until we can't buy anymore, right? And then we'll have to go back down. So um, I hope, and it's happening. Sellers that are high middle class and under are dropping their prices. The home prices, the luxury homes, those are staying where they are. Homes in the 800, 900 million, two, three, they're not moving too much on price. But the ones that are under 700,000, they're adjusting.
No, I
That's
mean
the
you hit.
short version.
They always say the 50-year time frame, right? From 1975 to 2025, the average interest rate roughly is about 8%. And but
Hmm.
in the decade 2010 to 2020, the average interest rate is 4%. So I mean, we got adjusted to these lower rates. They're still
Hmm.
historically low, even when they're in the 6s and 7%. It's still historically low. But to your point, if we go back down to 4%, we go back down to 3%, and then the prices go up higher, we'll get
Hmm.
to a point where we just can't afford it. It's not
Hmm.
feasible. So there
Right.
is a fear to that, and there's also an adjustment period. And we talk, and obviously, we definitely talk about strategies of just, being more offensive minded. And I'll probably get into that, on another time. But just finding ways to generate more income is definitely something that we all have to do. find more ways to generate income so you can afford the lifestyle you want to live and the places that you
Hmm.
want to be. So I think that's a
Hmm.
concern. But moving on, I wanted to get into this movie time because I know you're a big movie buff. Your AMC card.
I love my AMC card. I'll be
Yeah.
going to the movies today and tomorrow and Wednesday. I'm
Okay.
behind.
Well, check this out. I read this article. I thought it was interesting, and it just reminded me of you. It said the 12 films you must watch if you work in sales, and I thought it was
Mm,
like, so they talked about Moneyball. Have you seen Moneyball, the baseball movie?
no,
You have not seen it.
no. Ironically, I am. I don't consider myself a salesperson. I just consider myself someone that helps people establish themselves in life. That's my goal. I am not selling. You can talk to any of my buyers, even with the one we just closed with. I was not trying to sell him a home. I said, "You got this, we have this. Where are we going?" And so um, I give pros and cons. I've seen a realtor or a real someone who used to be a realtor sell, and she was selling. And I was like, man, I can't do that. I cannot do that. She was like, the park, the area, and I was like, no, I don't. I believe that if you feel it, you feel it. If you don't, you don't. So sales movies, I'm
Don't
an
do it for
action
you, huh?
movie girl. Yeah, I love The Big Short. That is one of my favorites.
Big
But
Short.
that's not a sales movie.
No,
But yeah, but no, go
it's
for
a
the sales movies. Let me see if I have heard any of these movies. Go ahead.
all right. So you got Moneyball, which is
Mm,
a true story based on Oakland athletics. They're not even the Oakland A's anymore. They're moving to
mm,
Vegas. But Moneyball was number 12. Ten
mm.
Men. I've never seen that. That's back in the day. It looks like Richard Dreyfuss and Danny DeVito. So I actually am interested in seeing that. Jerry Maguire. You've got to see Jerry.
Saw Jerry Maguire. I saw Jerry. It was it was cool. It was cool. I don't yeah, I don't the sales thing I
Jerry
don't like.
Maguire.
Yeah, you're hustling people. I don't like it.
Man,
I
so
don't like it.
Jerry Maguire, another one. I don't
And what's the last one you went out?
You back again.
It's me. So it's I don't know. I changed everything. What was after Jerry Maguire? Hmm, okay. I have five
So we'll see
bars. I
what
don't
she's
know. I'm here. I'm here. I think I'm here.
back
Am I back?
at today, giving us a difficult time.
Maybe because it's so hot outside.
Not playing nice. But Wall Street is another movie, sales movie.
Saw Wall Street.
Wall Street's solid. A little overhyped.
I don't know what happened with Wall Street. I heard Wall Street. I didn't hear after that. And I think did we lose Dante? Dante is the host. I'm just here. Um, okay, well, I'll go into why I love The Big Short. Oh, he's back. Okay. See, it
That's
wasn't me.
yeah, I guess not.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Y'all always try to play. It's not me. Okay, it's not
Man,
me.
it's I
I
don't know
think
what's
because it's hot outside.
it must be something's going on. The internet,
Yeah.
I've never had this much issue. That's crazy. That's
I was
crazy.
the host for a minute. I was like, we're gonna go into it. It's about to get real. Let me
Man.
tell you.
The funny part was because at first the light was still going off for me, so I just kept going. You were the host on your side, I was the host on mine. I don't know, it's crazy. Well,
So
I was yeah.
After Wall Street is where you were.
Okay, so you saw Jerry Maguire.
Yeah. I
Okay,
saw Wall Street, but I don't remember it.
Wall Street. What about Boiler Room?
I saw that, but I don't remember it either.
That's Nia Long. She was in that movie. What about Founder? That was the Founder's a great movie.
Mm-mm.
See,
When did
Founder.
that come out?
I don't remember, but Founder is the one with Ray Kroc. It's the story of Ray Kroc, who, McDonald's took McDonald's to the whole nother level.
I didn't see that because I know it got stolen from him, or he stole it from
He
someone
stole
else.
it.
So
Yeah, he stole it
I
from the
wasn't interested.
McDonald's. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great movie, really great movie.
Okay.
Highly recommended.
Does it
Pursuit.
show how he stole it?
Yeah, it shows.
Oh,
I mean, because
savage.
he was like selling milkshakes, and then he stumbled upon these guys in Cali, and was like but he had a bigger vision than what they
Than what
couldn't
they
get
had.
that far,
Hmm.
and he just made it work. Pursuit of Happiness, they consider that a sales movie.
I saw that.
I thought that was a
That
good
was
movie.
a hustle struggle. I'm just trying to make it movie. That was a
Yeah,
good movie. It
that
was
was a
sad.
good movie. The
Mhm.
Wolf of Wall Street,
I saw that.
of
Was that
course.
with Leo?
That's Leo.
Okay, yeah. There's so
Yeah,
many memes for him. Yes, I love the Wolf on Wall Street.
yeah.
That was
Jordan
crazy.
Belfort. Yeah, that is.
That was a crazy movie.
Uh, Joy.
No,
Now I saw that like on Netflix. Joy's with Jennifer Lawrence, Robert De Niro, and Bradley Cooper.
no, I don't think I saw that.
Like she created something, and just like a housewife or something created something and just blew up.
No.
The Death of a Salesman. I've never seen that. That's John Malkovich and Dustin Hoffman. So I'm kind of interested. I put that down. Tommy Boy.
Mm-mm.
I've never seen that.
Mm-mm.
And then the number one was Glengarry Glen Ross.
No,
Really? Now that's classic.
no.
I like that
What's
one.
that about?
Well, they're selling real estate. They're selling land, and they're talking about they need leads. They're looking for leads. Everyone's thinking the hot leads. Buying internet leads nowadays, but back then they were buying these leads, and it was the Glengarry Glen Ross leads. And they were supposed to be the magic leads that could help you, get the good clients. And so
Hmm.
someone's trying to steal the leads and stuff like that. But it's really good. I mean, but it is a sales real estate movie.
I need
Um,
you to screenshot those or something and send it to me.
yeah.
Now I'm curious.
Now the real estate movies that came out, obviously Glengarry Glen Ross, The Big Short, as you referenced. There was Revolutionary Road. I never saw that one. That's with Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. So that was like kind of a little Titanic flair. That was in
Mm-hmm.
2008. Then they
Mm-mm.
had The Promised Land. That was Matt Damon. I didn't even I didn't know these. The House of Sand and Fog. Rent the musical. I never saw that.
Mm-mm.
Uh, 99 Homes.
Mm-mm.
The Castle.
Nope.
And the
The
last one,
Great.
I think a real good one was Pacific Heights.
The Heights. I did see that one. That
Pacific
was a good
Heights,
one. Yeah, that was a good one.
San Francisco, where they had the two flat, and they couldn't get the crazy guy out the house. Yeah, and that's it. Those were the movies
Mm,
that I saw. But I mean, have you seen Money Pit with Tom
yes, I
Hanks?
believe so. I think so. I think so, but I
That
don't
was like
think I
an
saw.
'80s movie. It's a husband and wife.
I'm
Which
sorry,
one?
that's my refrigerator listening to you. I'm
Dang, you got a high tech refrigerator.
sorry.
That's crazy.
She listens
They
too
can give
much.
you
She
cold
knows
water.
too
Can
much.
can it
Like,
pour
no,
cold water
no,
for
she
you?
no, she just listens for no reason. It's scary. There's no telling what these people know about me
Hey,
because of that
so
refrigerator.
man, I'm sure she's probably heard a lot. Mm,
She know how to
big
sell real
brother.
estate.
So I was going to do. So I was curious. It says would you rather? I was going to do the would you rather moment. Would you rather have Home Alone house or the Notebook house?
Home Alone. No, Home Alone for sure.
And that's obviously in Illinois with Neck.
Yep. Yes, yes, yes. I love when that goes. Like I'm going Home Alone
What
all day.
movie? Big Short or The Wolf of Wall Street?
Big Short for sure. Big
You're gonna say
Short.
Big Short. I'm gonna ask you likes
Yeah.
Big Short.
Love it. Love it. The Wolf on Wall Street is about
Going
a
on.
super aggressive
It
guy.
might be messing
His,
up the internet. Internet's not moving as
yeah.
quickly
Mm-hmm.
and as fast as normal.
Well,
But we'll
I'll
get
just the Wolf on Wall
it
Street
together.
is um a more
Yeah, I'm gonna
aggressive.
ask her why she likes The Big Short so much. It was a
Wolf
good movie
Wolf
though.
on
I
Wall
mean, broke
Street.
down just half they collected this, simply a queen. I think you're there.
I am. The Wolf on Wall Street was a go get 'em, go get 'em, go get 'em mentality. I don't care what your answer is. This is my answer. Go big or go home type thing. And I think go big or go home can hurt if you weren't ready to go home and you were still trying to go big because you put all of your eggs in this basket and didn't realize it was time to go home. And so with the Big Short, it shows what happens if you keep going, go big or go home without thinking, and you're just going with the flow and multiple people getting multiple homes, looking for these multiple streams of income, um, trying to live the super duper American dream, which is I want to be like the millionaires and have all these streams of income, but not do anything. That's the image that you think, which is not true, but that's what it looks like from afar. So, um, you know, uh, you have to not just invest in real estate, but look at trends, look at the market, study certain things, or just study what neighborhoods sell, what school districts sell, what environments sell. You should study those things before just buying properties. Look at the demand for the rental market and whatnot, because all of those things affect your bottom line. And so, with the Big Short, it shows what happens when people are just doing, and there's no thought behind it. They're just going with the flow. And so everything eventually falls down because it was never built on study. It was never built on research. It was never built on um, taking your time to make a big investment. It was just invest, 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 invest. Oh, forget the fact that you're investing in something horrible, or forget the fact that you're buying when everyone else is buying. You're paying $100,000 over asking price. Forget that. Just go, 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 go. And so that is how the Big Short happened, essentially. And so that is why I love that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I always when I think of you, it's always you have empathy. You have empathy for people, and there's a upside and a downside, and you pay attention to both sides. And sometimes a lot of these stories are talking about the go 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 stuff, the upside, but they don't express what could happen. Not everything is going
Hmm.
to be roses, and not everything is going to work out the way you think it's going to work out, and what you're going to do when it doesn't. And I think that's how you express it with your clients, and so I can 100% respect that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
They
So
With that being said, would you rather have the Fresh Prince of Bel Air house or the Full House?
Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
That's a no-brainer,
Okay.
really, right? I mean, Full House
Yeah, I
was
think
in
so.
San Francisco though, so it might have been even worth more potentially.
Where was the? Bel Air. Where was that
Bel
at?
Air?
It was
It's
in
Bel Air. Bel Air, California.
yeah, but like where? What part of Cali?
I mean,
I'm
that's
not a
like
San. Not a San Fran. San Fran is um, super family oriented. It's not much to do there, but I mean, LA is nice to visit. It it's nice to visit, and it's super nice if you're around people that have homes like the Bel Air home.
facts.
But if not, it's kind of boring. You're not invited to the house parties, and so you got to find where and who you can get in with people, and the vibe is just not my vibe.
I got you. Let's move quickly in. One of the reasons why I want to do this with you, you've been on the Epic Spotlight podcast, and for those that didn't have a chance to check out that podcast, I do highly recommend it. But let's talk about you briefly as far as just from UIC to Remax Hall of Fame. Like, what what would you say? I mean, how has your career taken you to these levels? What have you done to really encourage others to maybe go out there and do it the same?
Um, I think well UIC to my next job was like a sales job. And I just didn't like sales. I don't like selling people things that they don't need. Met my broker at a White Sox game when I was working and still working for the charities, and he was always there and said I need to become a realtor. I didn't know what he was talking about, but became a realtor like 3 years later under him and listened to the stories of the people that were purchasing that had already purchased. And a lot of them just felt as if their team didn't care. They felt that everyone was doing it just for a sale. Didn't matter if they liked the home or not. They looked at 4 or 5 homes, and after that, the agent would say, "Okay, you need to make a decision," and all this other stuff. Like it was HGTV ish, and that is not how you should move. You should buy something that speaks to you, that you like, that hits you. It doesn't have to be the perfect home, especially if you're a first time home buyer. Um, but it should be something that works for you. So it's kind of like choosing a partner. There's no perfect partner, there's no perfect friend, there's no perfect spouse, but you want to hit the key things. And then if you hit the key things with that match, everything else can be worked out. But there are some things that you definitely need, whether it's the location or whether it's you need an in-unit washer and dryer, or you need a nice backyard for the kids, or you don't want a backyard, you want a balcony, or whatever the case. There are some things that are just not negotiable. And then there are some things that are negotiable. You might not need an open kitchen layout. You might be okay um, with, not having an island or whatever the case. Those things are just extras or bonuses. But in the end, you need to hit these key points, and then everything else can fall into place and be someplace that you love. And so that is what I aim for when working with my clients.
They were talking about with buyers. I wrote some notes down, like, things to consider, right? Condo or townhome, you know, uh, fixed rate mortgage or adjustable rate mortgage. Um, you know,
Townhomes are always the go-to for me. I hate condos. I just don't trust them, only because if someone in your, because at that point you're relying off of other people in the building to keep your value. So if you're a great owner, but you have owners in the building who aren't great, they can mess up your property value. And unlike townhomes and homes, when the appraiser appraises those values, they have to use, or they're supposed to use, the units in the building first and then go to the other units in other buildings. But with a home or a townhome, you can use um, units that are across the street within a mile radius, all that good stuff. You can't do that with townhomes. And if you have too many investors in the building for a condo, you can't sell it under typical financing. So
Mm.
now it makes it more difficult for you to sell. So yeah, I'm never a condo fan unless like that's your last place, you're never going to move again, and that's where you are. Then fine. You don't care if you ever sell it again. That's fine. But other than that, I'm not a condo fan.
That divorcee with the cats lives in the condo.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with the divorcee and the 50 cats in the
Right.
condo because you're there for life.
Right.
That's what it is. But
It
to
is.
the young couple that moves in and out and likes to throw parties, and they're not going to be there too long. Eventually, they're going to grow out of it. And when that happens, they might hold it and rent it out, or they might not. But it's the stability is what can mess up the condo building. The stability.
Yeah, you can get stuck in a condo. I remember in my
Mhm.
condo life, right across right across the hallway was a husband and wife, and they had 3 kids. And the initial
Mhm.
plan was, hey, we're going to stay here for a little bit and then move. And then all of a sudden you're there and you got 3 kids. You can't move. You're stuck.
Mhm.
Money got
Mhm.
tight. Things happen. So yeah, sometimes you can get stuck in a condo.
Mhm.
Um, now, what do you
And
think?
unless you're going to, if you want to be in a certain area, sometimes you have to go the condo route. But like in other words, you're moving to an area where the homes are 600 or 700,000, but the condos are like maybe 100 or 200, maybe
Mm,
three. But you really need to be in the area, really like the area. That's okay. It just needs to be if that's the case, a super spacious condo, so that, like you said, you can have multiple kids or pets or whatever. So that you can move. It just needs to be some space involved. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
starter home now or dream home later? So I guess starter home or a dream
Uh,
home. What are you seeing out there? Are people more prone to going with the dream home right off the bat?
oh yeah, they're always going for the dream home.
And
Everyone wants the dream home. You don't spend six
but that
figures.
changed. Like I told someone that changed 20 years ago. Get a starter home, stay there 5,
Mm-hmm.
7 years, build up a little equity, and then you're gonna sell it and then take that money, go get, and people don't want to wait that. Man, we're gonna get that dream home right now.
Mm-hmm. And I
That's what
think people are purchasing later as well.
sure.
So because of that, they're like, oh, well, I waited all this time. I want the dream home. And
That's a valid
unfortunately,
point.
it doesn't work like that.
Average first time home buyer is 38 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the regs say, 38. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
when I got in the game, it was 27. So I mean, we've seen a
Wow. Jeez.
decade in 20 years, 23 years. So it is fascinating that. What about a walk-in closet or spa bathroom?
Oh, spa. You'll get more money back. You'll get
What's
more money back. A walk-in closet is fun though too. But instead of doing a walk-in, you can just put a double bar in your closet.
mm,
So that helps.
what about a home office or a finished basement?
Finished basement. You put the home office in the finished basement.
Easy.
Nobody cares about the home office. It's not that big of a deal.
New build or a vintage charm?
Oh, new build. Vintage is bigger for the same price as a new build. So I'll go with vintage and
Mm,
I'll update it.
yeah. What about that insulation though? Because those radiator heat, everything has to be updated. You can still got some cloth wiring in the walls. Is
That's
anything?
true. I'll update it. It'll be for the same price. And you get so much more room. I'm a I'm old school. I rather get something. I'm gonna go for the space over the amenities. Those amenities always go out of style in 5 to 10 years. That refrigerator is no longer being sold as beautiful as it is. It is no longer, or if it is, it's a different color. It does something different. It's out of style already. That backsplash is not in anymore. It's nice, but it's not. These cabinets not in as much anymore. They have something new. They're only, I think it's only like maybe 4 or 5 years old. So
Right.
the amenities, the luxuries, they always change. And so the new construction is great and it's new, but it's new for 5 to 10 years. And after that, it's outdated. So if I'm going to pay top dollar for something, I'd rather get space with a nice backyard, and then I can update. the inside over time.
Got it. What about suburbs or city?
Oh, suburbs. I'm a suburb girl.
I know I just laid that up for you on that one. Jeez.
City is cool if you like busyness. So I used to like busyness. I would live downtown in the Aqua if I could,
Hmm.
but it's too busy. It's still busy. I want a backyard. Um I want a backyard and just a quiet. Sometimes it's okay to get just a little piece of quiet. So, but stay close enough so that when you want to have some busy movement, you can go do that.
Sure. And then obviously, we were talking. One thing I think is important. Is there still that tiers as far as a buyer is concerned? When you're putting an offer in, are we looking at cash buyer first, conventional buyer second, then
Hmm.
government loans? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, cash is first, conventional is second. Um, FHA is third. Um, VA VA might be third. FHA is last.
Where do you put the contingency buyer? So what if I got to sell my house in order to buy? I'm a contingency conventional. Where do I fit in that kind of tier
Oh,
section?
probably go FHA over a contingency.
Right.
Anything that makes it so it might not go through is put lower and lower on the totem pole. So with FHA, not only it might not go through, but it also, if the value comes out low, that value sticks with the property for 3 or 6 months. I forgot which one. I think it's
It's 120 days, 4 months.
okay. So it's neither. So it's 4 months. Yeah, I would. I don't like that. I don't care about the FHA inspection. I have a team that can fix whatever. So if they say, "Hey, chip paint," da da da, I have people that'll come do it, and they'll get paid at closing, so that it won't put the seller in a position where they're stuck.
Sure.
Um, but I do not like that 120-day appraisal
Yeah.
value. That kills me.
It's super crazy because actually the case number. So anytime you have a FHA loan, a case number is assigned to that loan, and the
Hmm.
case number is attached to the property. So that
Hmm.
case number is good for 6 months, but the appraisal
Mm.
value is only good for 4 months. So in
Mm.
that interim, you would, in theory, get the case number
Spread the case
transferred over,
and
and then you would
reorder
have
the
to,
price.
yeah, yeah, and have to have it updated optimally through that same appraiser. But it's very
Hmm.
annoying to say the least. And
Hmm.
the final one I would say, what about renovation? So if because I had a lady right now, she's looking to do a FHA 203K renovation loan. Where does that fit in that pecking order? Where would you list her if she's trying to offer on it, one of your listings?
Oh, the renovation loan. No, that's at the very bottom. That is not even on the only way we would do a renovation loan is if the property was a short sale.
Mm,
If it was a short sale, then we allow the renovation just because it takes time to do the renovation. It
mhm.
takes time to get the quote with the values, the right person. So we would go renovation last.
So cash, conventional, the government loans, FHA and VA, or VA and FHA in that prior respect, contingencies, and then the renovation loans.
Hmm. Does the value of VA stick for 120 days too?
Yeah, there's a number. There's a number
Okay.
that gets attached to them, so it sticks.
We probably still go VA close to conventional, um, just because typically when we're doing that hasn't happened before where VA is competing against conventional for me. So typically, but if that's the case, we would probably go VA then conventional,
Mhm.
only because it's a veteran and they served our country.
Sure. We got to show love
But
to the veterans.
yeah, but if it's the same as FHA, but I'm not, it's the value. Um, you typically don't get multiple veterans going for a home. So
Right.
even if the value didn't come out, we could go to another one. We wouldn't have to worry about it.
Got it. Now let's flip it to investors. I'm just curious. Um, would you consider more cash flow or appreciation?
Oh, cash flow.
You
Where's
can't really
cash flow?
because you can't determine appreciation, right? I mean, it's really
Yeah, correct. It's a market crashes tomorrow. The value you have is gone,
right.
but the income you have is still the income. So that's definitely cash flow all the time. I saw
Uh,
people purchasing off of appreciation, and I do not agree with it. But you chose that realtor. That realtor jacked you up. I wouldn't have did it.
I mean,
I'm not like that.
appreciation right now, obviously looks pretty good in real estate. Just obviously where it's
Absolutely,
going.
for sure.
Probably close to 10%. So I mean, that's where you can fall victim
Hmm.
of like, oh, appreciation. Look at this; it's going to grow. Um,
Hmm.
what about single family or multi-unit?
Right now, single family. Multi units used to be able to buy a multi unit and stay there and not pay the mortgage because the other units were paying it for you.
Hmm.
That does not happen anymore. Now you buy a multi unit and you're still paying something. And that if that's the case, just buy the house and buy a little one so that you can go buy another one later. So
It's
instead of buying, go ahead.
no,
Sorry.
it's funny. They call that house hacking. That's the new
Mhm.
terminology. The house hacking is, using FHA, buying a multi-unit, and then living in one of the units, and then having the other units pay for the mortgage.
Oh,
That's house
okay.
hacking. It threw me. They're like, "Oh, you know anything about house hacking?" I was like, "What the heck is?" And I was like, "Oh, you mean buying a 3-unit FHA and living in one of the units?" Okay,
It's called buying an investment property, sir.
yes.
That's what that is. But okay, sure. Um, house hacking. No, house hacking is a horrible idea right now.
Long-term rental or Airbnb?
A long-term rental or Airbnb?
Yeah, so buy and hold or, you know, trying to flip it every 20 days with a new tenant.
Uh, I, I heard Airbnb is more lucrative, but I would probably rather do the long term.
I always compare it to this. I mean, and this is just a rough generic thing, but if you could get $200 a day, so we got a 30-day month, $200 a day,
Hmm.
but you need at least probably 5 to 10 days of cleaning in between
Hmm.
people coming in. So basically, if you
Hmm.
say you have 20 days of $200, that's $4,000. So,
Hmm.
to some degree, a single family house can bring in $4,000 and then whatever your mortgage payment is. So minus mortgage payment and minus cleaning and management fees of that, and then that would be your profit on an Airbnb. So, I mean,
Hmm.
case in point, buying low would it makes sense, but
Hmm.
if you're buying high, it may not be a lot there.
Correct. I agree.
Property manager or self manage?
Oh, property manager.
Did you
I'm
know
not.
property management is a tax write off? I didn't even know
I understand that. Yeah, I don't care. I don't want to do it. I
that.
don't know. I don't feel like arguing with somebody that's not gonna pay me my money. Run me my money. That's all.
Fix and flips or buy and hold?
Fix and flip or buy and hold. Fix and flip. I don't want to hold it. I want to get it going. I buy and hold if I was going to rent it out, but some people literally buy and let it sit there. Then you're bringing down the community as well, the value because it's just something. No, I'm gonna fix it and flip it.
The issue with obviously fix and flips are just when you buy it, the market may be a certain way, and then how long does it take you to actually finish the project? Because the market may change overnight.
Hmm.
Any tips or any things to consider when that can become the case?
That is why you need a good realtor on your team so that you don't just buy anything. You need to, again, look at the neighborhood, the area, the crime, the location, proximity to public transportation. You need to look at those things before purchasing and see what that area looks like. I would not suggest you do a flip in an area that is surrounded by flips, to an area where it's a lot of home ownership. And those areas typically cost more money, but you have a better chance of getting your flip off in a shorter period of
Oh, that was good. So that was a little rapid fire from a buyer edition and also investor side. And as we start to kind of wrap this up, let's give some tips for the week. From a something actionable for a buyer, seller, and the agents. What some experiences you're going through right now, and maybe give a tip to someone out there.
time. Oh, when we are looking at homes for my buyers, we see a lot of homes. Post COVID, you could sell anything. You didn't have to clean it, you didn't have to stage it. Because of the market and the inventory, people were just buying it. And so it is no longer like that. You need to stage your home, you need to declutter, you need to clean, put good sense in there. You need to do that to sell your home at a good value. Um, every time I do that, my listings sell in about a day. So I just put one on the market Thursday. We were under contract. We had a contract over asking price by Friday.
Yep.
So, but that's because we staged it. We did the smell goods. We did some other things that I like to do for my sellers just to make it more marketable. And it worked. So we had 7 offers, but we went with the very first one. So that is what I would suggest for sellers. For sellers, clean your homes, get a good agent. If you're in Illinois, get me. And if you are not in Illinois, then just make sure the agent knows how to market and make sure the home is presentable. Buyers, save your money. Stop relying on grants and loans. Grants, not loans. Stop relying on grants to have the money for you. You can't always use grants. Sometimes the credit score drops. Sometimes the grant disappears. And so if that happens, you still want to be able to move forward effortlessly. And you also want to be comfortable when moving forward. So using that grant is great, but if you saved your money up and got ready to purchase, you might be able to use the grant, but at least you also have the money saved, moving, improvements, things like that. The roof falls in 2 weeks later. You need to get another roof, whatever the case. You want to have reserves for that. And so that's what I would suggest for buyers. Also, buyers, stop asking your realtor friends for advice and to help you, but then using another realtor is not a good way to go.
Why didn't they just use you in the first place?
Should have just used them in the first place.
I'll piggyback. You made me think of had a situation, had a closing on Friday with actually a FISBO situation for sale by owner.
Mhm.
Buyer bought the house that she's been renting over the last couple of years, and the situation came up that probably the day before closing, or 2 days before closing, her credit expired.
Mhm.
The thing is, credit reports are only good for 120 days. So,
Mhm.
that time clock, I'm not pressing you per se because hurry, 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 but it is a clock that we're on. We're on deadlines. And so maintaining your credit and keeping it where it was from, day one all the way to day 120 is so important. This particular situation where she was, got her pre-approved, pulled her credit, we're good, got engaged with one property, home inspection led to, and just issues that we didn't want to go with. So we end up leaving that property and end up, wind up just going ahead and buying the one that she lives in. And but going through two different transactions, we're at a point where her credit expired. Now luckily her score was up instead of down, but there is no
Mm-hmm.
wiggle room when it comes to that. In
Correct.
those situations, if I got to repull the credit after 120 days and she's a 550, it's ball game over. So,
Mm-hmm.
just being mindful
True.
that, hey, you can't be spending, goobs and gobs of money, buying furniture, do not affect your credit once you have engaged in the whole pre-approval. I'm talking about pre-approval. Some people say, once you're under contract. I'm just saying from the
Oh
pre-approval
no.
to the end, just keep it
Mm-hmm.
status quo. Because that was a scary moment. It's always scary. Like, man, you got to repull the credit, and I had to.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing I could do to
Mm-hmm.
avoid that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my tip definitely for buyers. And yeah, I mean, obviously I don't really deal with a lot of sellers per se, but I deal with more agents who obviously represent the seller. But flexibility on trying to get deals done, especially from maybe an investor standpoint. There's a lot of transactions that just need a little bit like, hey, we can get this done, but I need a little bit of assistance because sometimes
Mm-hmm.
stuff does happen during the whole process. And flexibility to me is key. I know in some areas you don't need to have as much flexibility because the properties are just going to warrant multiple buyers. But for areas that maybe you don't have as many options, being flexible,
Mm-hmm.
willing to work it out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we had a situation. Actually, I got one right now. The lady was trying to sell the property for 230,000, and the
Mm-hmm.
value came in at 215.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, uh, kind of one of those situations where she decides to do her own appraisal. No one told her, but she just decided, hey, I'm going to do
Right.
my own appraisal just because I want to know for myself. Well, her appraisal comes in at 227. So now we have an appraisal at 215. She has an appraisal at 227, but that 227 means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The lender's appraisal rules. It's at
Mm-hmm.
215. And
Mm-hmm.
and just let's be flexible and get this done. But now she's got a number in her head and she was like, fighting, and we're still working on that deal, trying to make it, trying to get, hey, can we have a kumbaya and can we, agree to a term so we can get this done. But just having some
If our home
flexibility.
isn't getting sold, just pull out. I mean, at that point, that is the seller's agent's responsibility to explain that to them. And it's a shame that they haven't, that the seller doesn't get it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff that's going on out there, and I see it. I'm just like, man, this is a crazy situation. I got a motivated buyer who really wants to buy, but then
Mm-hmm.
I got this value that is in my way, and we're trying to work it out. Hey, can we go to 220? But can he get a little credit? I mean, at the end of the day, she's going to probably we're going to get the deal done, but we're going to wind up closer to 215 when all she had to do was just agree to the 215.
Yeah.
The way we're going to put it together, she's going to be right around there anyway. So, it's just like, you should have just accepted. We could have closed 2 weeks ago.
Is it FHA?
It's FHA.
Oh, walk away. You're done. Walk away. And she's going, I mean, I think she'll take it after that. Someone needs to explain to her, just so you know, this value is your value for the next 4 months, lady.
Correct.
So we're
It's
done.
Yeah. I mean,
Unfortunately, it's sad, but it is what
yeah.
it is.
But and I know she wants to sell it, and they want to buy it, and so we're gonna get it done. But this stubborn nature sometimes of situations that are like, hey, this FHA, to your point, is going to be there for the next 4 months. It is what it is. Let's try to work this out. And especially when we have to have when it's in the realm, right? When it's within
Hmm.
10% or something, let's try to work those deals out. I mean, obviously, if you're trying to sell it for 300 and it comes in at 200, it may not be too much working out. But
Hmm.
when it's close enough, let's try to make things work.
Hmm. I
All right,
agree.
Miss Jefferson, where can they find you?
Oh, you can go to lolajefferson.com. You can go to pleased2beyouragent.com. You can find me on Facebook or LinkedIn. Um, I'm on Instagram. I think I'm on TikTok. I am on TikTok. I'm on Threads. Lola Jefferson. That's it. Lola Jefferson, realtor, and several things will pop up.
Awesome. No, this has been so much fun. I mean, and shout out to everyone that's been watching. I mean, my eyes are playing tricks on me, but it says like 134 people are
Oh
watching. So,
no, it's a lot
yeah,
of people.
that is a lot of people. So, really appreciate that. I think there are some comments in the chat. I didn't go to them yet, but I'll go to them and I will respond, or I'll have Lola respond or give me the answer. So, appreciate everyone to, listen to us.
Oh wait, no, we gotta answer the questions.
You want
Hold
to
on a
answer them?
second. Yeah, I didn't even see we had questions. How
Yeah.
do you see the market evolving by next quarter? What's your number one tip for buyers navigating 2025? What's one mistake sellers should avoid in the market? Dante and Lola, with so much conflicting info out there, what's really happening in the housing market right now? Should buyers be waiting, or is this actually a smart time to make a move? Is there any footage of the launches? Not sure what they're talking about. What's the biggest myth about today's housing market? And Dante is off granting homeowners wishes when he isn't on the podcast. He is a miracle worker. Um, okay. So how do you see the market evolving by next quarter? It's the hot market right now. You need to have your stuff together right now. Between May and August is a be ready to pay your own closing costs, be ready to go highest and best, have your lender ready to go, and be ready to move very, very, very quickly. That is the market that we're in. That'll stop in maybe the end of August, early September. It slows down and it becomes more of a buyer's market again where they can pay closing costs, come down on price, all that good stuff. And that goes just, it's more and more a buyer's market until about February when everyone gets their February, March when people get their tax returns. And then it speeds back up when kids go out of school, speeds back up until right when school starts, then it goes back down again. Dante, is that what you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely,
Okay.
right. I mean, basically, the reality is the rates are going to stay, roughly right around the same. We'll have little dips, but nothing major. So, this is what the payments are going to be. So we're still in a segment of date the rate, marry the house. So you still want to
Mhm.
find the house, and obviously the house that you see today that you love is probably not there come September, October. So that's the whole point
Mhm.
of it, where you're going to have to lock into the house, take that little bit of a higher payment than probably what you were gunning for, and then obviously look to refinance the property once the rates do dip. We anticipate rates dipping, more than likely a bigger dip probably next year. But obviously, case in point, we definitely are recommending, let's buy the house that you want, that's going to fit your needs and wants, and then we can always look to refinance at a later time, for sure.
Mhm. Sellers, have your house ready. Don't anticipate, oh, I'll fix it up later. If you want to sell it now, put it in perfect condition right now because the prime and the premium buyers are now looking. Um, Tip for buyers would be to save up your money. Definitely look into the grants. I don't like them because they usually come with higher rates and they usually come with refinancing things. You can't refinance for 5 to 10 years. Can't sell the property for 5 to 10 years, things like that. I don't care for that. But if it works, it works. Um, Look for the grants that fit you. Also, save your money up in case you can't use a grant. Be prepared to pay your closing costs. And also be okay with doing home improvements. You're not going to find the perfect home typically for first time home buyers. You'll find the perfect home for you, but it's going to need some work, or it's going to not be the size you wanted it to be, or it won't be in the location that you like. But that doesn't mean that you can't purchase because you can't purchase in the location you want it. There are pretty, I don't know, there are plenty of homes that are available in nice locations. The location that's your prime location isn't there isn't there's only one Winnetka, but there are plenty of locations that are similar to Winnetka. There are plenty of places you might love Roseland. There are plenty of areas that are similar to Roseland. They're just not the same. So you can go wherever. You just have to kind of uh, get the thought out of your head that, oh, this on this one location, there's no location like it. Every location is different, but there are very similar locations throughout Illinois, and you just have to find one that fits. Um, Go ahead, Dante. Sorry.
No, no.
No,
Like I
that's
said,
okay.
I knew I saw there were some comments. I was just like, well, I'll just respond to them.
Uh, Sellers should avoid. I'm gonna keep going since you're not
Yeah,
going
it's all
there.
you.
Sellers should avoid not fixing your home up. Continue to fix it up. Don't do cheap fixes on your home. Oh my gosh, I can't stress that enough. That whole, oh, I can do it, I can do it, I can fix it. Don't do your own backsplash. Don't do your own swap out the lights. Yes. Have an electrician do your lighting. Have an actual contractor or somebody that does really good work do the backsplash or do your floors. That stuff comes back to haunt you when it's time to sell. A buyer and an agent can see when something is really good quality, you put the effort and the time in, versus somebody that said, okay, we'll just do a peel and stick and we'll make it work. The will make it work homes don't sell as fast as the homes that, yeah, you paid a little bit more money, but you're going to get that money back for sure. So don't go cheap on the upgrades if you plan on selling it with that upgrade. Now, if you know you're going to fix it in a few years, yeah, do a cheap, quick fix. But when it's something that you know that's going to be permanent, get it professionally done.
What's your
Um,
what's your phone number, Lola? Make them call you.
my phone number is 708-296-7430. That is 708-296-7430. You can call anytime because real estate is my life. Um, with so much conflicting info out here, what's really happening in the housing market right now? Should buyers be waiting? Buyers should wait if you're not ready to have a mortgage. I keep saying the market is going to drop. It's not dropping. It's just going way too slow. I keep saying, wait, next year it's going to stop. When it kept peaking, I was like, oh no, it's going to have to crash because we're going way too high. Still hasn't crashed. I'm very irritated. Um, I want everyone to be able to afford a home. And so we're seeing these home prices just go up and up and up. It is super irritating. But home prices have stopped going up, kind of. Not really, but a little bit. And when I say that, I mean you used to have to go over asking price with no closing costs and waive your inspection. That has changed. You can now have your inspection. You don't have to pay the difference between the appraisal and the real value unless you want to, and you can still purchase a good home, where that wasn't the case a few years ago. So now you can go lower than asking price on a good home. It just hasn't sold yet because it's maybe too cluttered, or maybe the whole house isn't upgraded, but just part of it is modernized. So you can get a nice home and go under asking price and get your closing costs paid. So you used to not be able to do that. So I still think it's a good time to buy. The rates, I don't see the rates coming down. I don't think they should come down. If they go down, then the home prices are going to go even higher. So I'm just not a fan of that, and I don't see that happening at all. Um, and should buyers be out? Or is this actually a smart time to make a move? Right now is a good time to buy. Actually, the best time to buy, like the super best, awesome, the perfect time, is when absolutely no one wants to buy a house. When everyone is terrified to buy a home, that is the best time to buy a house because nobody's buying. Nobody is buying a home then. But that's the best time to buy. But when is the last time that's actually happened? It happened during COVID, and that it was the first 3 to 6 months of COVID. And that's when the lenders weren't even giving you a loan. They were saying we're not financing anything unless you have a 720 or higher, and you had to have money saved up because they just didn't know what was going on. That lasted for, like I said, 3 to 6 months. After that, it skyrocketed. Before that, was it 07, 08? That's when nobody was buying, and that's when nice homes, nice rehabbed, updated homes were sitting, and they were sitting and they were going that was a great time to buy. So 5 years ago, for 2 or 3 months, 3 to 6 months was a nice time. And 07, 08, so what was it, 14, 16 years ago, um was a phenomenal time to buy.
Right.
um Outside of that, you have to buy when it makes sense for your pocketbook. I think when it works, but you shouldn't be. I don't care who tells you go buy, go buy, go buy. You have to feel comfortable with that. And if you're not comfortable with it, you gotta be at least a little comfortable with it. There were people buying that didn't want to buy. They were just going with the flow. Kind of like everyone wanted to be an investor, so they just started buying buildings. And when you do that, you have people buying property, 4 unit and 6 unit buildings for $700,000, in which no one is making any money, and it's gonna go into foreclosure, or it's just a bad investment. You're going to have to try to flip it. It's a horrible investment, though. It's a horrible investment. Everyone let you make this horrible investment because everyone gets paid. Like, in the end, you have to remember we get paid. And there are a lot of people that work in oh, I just want to get paid situation. And so you need to make sure your team is not that team. And you need to make sure that um, they're going to look out for you. You want to test them? Say, you know what? I know we looked at these houses. I don't think I want to buy anymore. See what they do. If they say, okay, I understand, it's going to hurt my pocketbook, but if that's how you feel, okay. Or do they say, like, oh, no, you need to buy it. So you're going to miss out. Da, da, da. And if they're pushy, then that might not be the time. That might not be a team for you. That's, I don't know. That's what I would say. You probably disagree with me.
I would say that I am done with lunch. Thank you so much. We're gonna do this again, and we can. What I'll do is we can take these questions, answer them next time. But we'll do this again. I'll be back on here for sure Friday at 12, and then we'll set up a time with Lola so we can do this again. It was great though.
Sure.
Once the
It was
internet started
wonderful.
working,
It was. And
I
it
know
wasn't my internet. It was your internet.
it's
I don't
crazy.
want to. It's
Yeah,
hot. It's too hot.
yeah, it might
It's
have
hot
been
outside. We got to do it when it's 70 degrees outside.
facts.
Because, yeah, this isn't great. But
All right.
yeah, it's working now. So thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming on. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye.